Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the Gather Round homeschool curriculum that we are using this year, what we think of it, how it's working for us. If you are new here to my channel, my name is Julie. I am a mom to 5. A little bit of background if this helps you as I discuss this curriculum. I know a lot of people are curious about this curriculum. It is quite new. We are new to it. I get a lot of comments and a lot of DMs asking just different things about this curriculum and how we're liking it and everything. So I thought I would just film a video for what this matters. If you're new here, I have been homeschooling since my oldest was in kindergarten. So this is our 7th year homeschooling, and this is my very first year using the Gather Round curriculum. So we started in September. We are just now finishing our very first unit. So take that as you will. I know I'm always a little bit hesitant to hear people's reviews when they are just starting something. I say let it go for a little bit longer before I really trust your opinion on this. And so yes, I am very new to this. I will have to do a review again at the end of the year on what I think of it. Each unit is different, and so I'm definitely looking forward to getting into some more units, but the one that we are just finishing up right now is the human body unit. So this is my teacher's guide. I have 4 children that have been doing this unit alongside me. So I have my pre-reader, I have my early reader, I have my early elementary, and my upper elementary. They also have middle school and high school. I think that's it. Just 2 more higher levels that we are not into yet. So this Gather Round curriculum, if you haven't heard of it before, it covers all of your subjects: history, geography, science, art, grammar, vocabulary, spelling, everything with the exception of math. This unit study approach is one of the things I was looking forward to the most with this curriculum, because I have never done unit study before. It has been going really well for my kiddos. I feel like they are retaining so much more information when every subject they are doing kind of works together on this one topic. So even our Bible, they've been doing verses like, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and different verses about the tongue. They have been learning about different illnesses. They learned about Helen Keller and the Paralympics. All these different subjects all working together on this one topic of the human body. And I have found all this reinforcing is really working for my kids. They seem to be enjoying what they're studying and also absorbing that information. Another thing I've been liking about this curriculum is the creativity it's drawing out of my kids. So they're doing a lot more art than I often do with my kids. They're doing a lot more like writing their own poetry, just things that I haven't really done a lot of yet. Every lesson we do, I do a reading portion and they have to listen, and then they write notes, or my younger ones will just write a sentence, something that they learned about as I was reading. So that's a good thing for them to learn how to do, I think, is just really listen, find different little information tidbits, and then take notes and write down what they learned about. Just kind of outside the box activities that we haven't done a lot of yet. There is also a lot of, there's an Amazon package, I think, coming into our driveway. There are some videos during a lot of the lessons. They'll say, why don't you go over for a little activity break and go watch this YouTube video, which is a kind of a fun break from the normal when we get to watch a little video. One of the biggest questions I get asked, and this is also a big question for me, it was a big question for me before we began this curriculum, was, is it enough? Especially with the writing and grammar and spelling, I wasn't sure, and I think a lot of you aren't sure if this is enough in this curriculum. Honestly, I would say every day there is actually quite a lot of writing. So I'm going to pull out a sample lesson. Okay, so here is a lesson. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it on here, but this is a lesson where we were learning about the intestines. And so here on the first page, this is my early elementary daughters. workbook. So she had to copy these vocabulary words, and then she wrote down a couple of sentences. This was her note-taking about what I had just read to her. Then we did a Bible story, and so it was the story about Daniel, and so she wrote some answers to questions there. On the next page, it was some copy work. So she was writing out a whole Bible verse. You can see she was practicing her cursive here. We talked a little bit about the phrase, trust your gut. And so she had a couple little answers to write there. And then she also had this other science page where she labeled some organs. So lots of different writing in different ways, whether it was dictation or just writing things on her own or copy work, but quite a lot of writing throughout. Of course, each day looks different. Sometimes there's history and then there's art, and sometimes there's not Bible. So not every day looks the same. There are different subjects each day. But I have found that there is actually quite a good amount of writing consistently each day. As far as if it's enough grammar and spelling, I definitely think it can be. I'm not going to say right now, definitely it's enough grammar and spelling for us. We're not going to add anything else this year. I haven't quite decided that yet. I personally am used to lists, and I enjoy just spelling lists. Like, let's just do a list. Let's perfect this. Let's master this list, and then let's move on to a new list and master those words. Spelling is kind of just mixed into this curriculum, and so they'll have one day, let's work on these spelling words, and then a couple days later, let's work on these spelling words now. And like I said, they're doing lots of writing, and so as we go through, I am trying to stop and say, okay, we spelled this wrong at the end of this Bible verse they wrote, or these notes they took. These couple of words are wrong. Let's get out another paper, and you're going to write each of those words 5 times. And so I'm kind of drawing out spelling words through the everyday work that they're doing as well. As well as grammar, it's not necessarily mastering this one concept, like memorizing exactly what verbs and adjectives are. It's kind of just mixed in here and there, like, let's work on contractions today. Okay, let's work on this. And it's just little bits of grammar kind of mixed in. And I think I have to just wait a few months and see how it goes. If I find my kids are still regularly misspelling, maybe simple words that I think they should know. I do have one child like this for sure who still spells will, W-H-I-L-L, or just some of those simple words. We might go back to lists to try to perfect some of that, but I haven't decided on that yet. So again, based on my experience on just this one unit that we've done so far, I definitely think it can be enough. Do you want to add more? You can add more, but I don't think there's anything missing in this curriculum. I thought it was very thorough. Okay, any review video like this, I think you have to give something that maybe isn't your favorite about this curriculum, and it's definitely not make or break stuff. It's just kind of little nitpicky things. So my one not so favorite thing that I've had to get used to, and it's fine, is kind of my favorite thing too. I love that we're doing unit study approach, but each lesson all revolves around this one topic in our unit. And, each lesson also involves history and science, like I said. And so in the past, we would have days, and we still do, where it's like, you know what? We have this appointment going on today, or we can only get a couple of hours of school in. We can't quite complete a full school day. On those days, I would say, let's do math, reading, and writing. So math is fine because it's separate from this curriculum. They can still complete their math. They can still complete some reading. I give them some assigned reading every day. But as far as writing goes, I could, but it's not simple to just pull out something from their book and say, let's do this writing on this topic that I haven't gotten to yet, because it's all combined in that unit study. So I've just had to be a little bit more creative. And when we have a day where we're just doing math, reading, writing, I either give them like a memory verse that we're currently working on, and I'll get them to copy out that scripture passage, that verse, or I will say, get out your journal and do a journal page. It just has to be something different because they don't have their usual easy writing book. Okay, do your next page of writing. I have to kind of assign them something different on those days. Also, the other thing that surprised me is that each day there is quite a lot of reading for me to do, and I think the human body unit is especially deep, I guess. So I have about 4 pages to read each day. And of course it gets into some pretty like big words, some pretty deep information, especially for my younger ones. And so I am fine with it. It is a good bit of reading. I think if I only had an early reader and a pre-reader, I might like skimp over a bit of it and kind of simplify it, maybe only read portions of it, not the entire thing. But because I have older ones who grasp it just fine, it's good. But if you only had younger ones, you might simplify some of that vocabulary, at least in this unit. So that is my review thus far. We are just finishing human body, like I said. The next unit we're gonna get to in Asia, and then I am so excited to do the Christmas unit this year. I think we'll probably only go partway through the Asia unit before we go and do the Christmas unit. It is a mini unit, so I think it's 12 lessons long, but definitely for the month of December, we will be doing that Christmas unit. If you are curious about this curriculum, if you hear me talk about it and think, oh, I wanna try it, they do have a couple of different units that you can do a 1-week sample of. So if you are wondering about it, if you have more questions, do the sample. I would encourage anybody to do the 1 week sample. Give yourself a little bit more of a feel for it and see if it's a good fit for your family. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit more about our curriculum for this year, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.